Hello, my name is Shannon and I'm with Waffle Flower Crafts. I'm here at Scrapbook.com sharing with you how to create this really fun hippo card using the new Hip Hip Hooray stamp set. We're going to create a recessed image with a matching window frame. Let's get started. We're going to start with an A2 panel of Neenah Solar White cardstock. It is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to ink blend at the upper portions with 2 Distress Oxides, Wilted Violet, and Peacock feathers. Let's start with the Wilted Violet. We're going to ink up the foam pad, tap off some of the excess, and start blending off the paper and onto it, lightening my pressure as I move down towards the center. We want a nice soft blend with a seamless gradation. So light pressure is definitely key. And we'll do a little ink blending here with peacock feathers. Now we're going to add some water spots just to add some visual interest to the background. I'm going to spray just a little bit of water onto the panel. And then I will pick up the water with a paper towel. And it just adds these beautiful water spots that add some really pretty visual interest to our background. We'll set this aside and let this dry, and we'll move on to our images. I'm now going to stamp these hippos from the Hip Hip Hooray stamp set onto some Neenah Solar White cardstock. I've already stamped and colored a pair, and I'm now going to show you how I did the coloring with these 2 hippos here. The first thing I need to do is stamp them in Memento Tuxedo Black. So I'll ink up this image and then stamp. I'm now going to Copic color these hippos in. I'm going to start with C3 and color these hippos gray. Now I've got 1 layer down of the C3. I'm going to go over with a little bit more, the same color, just to add a little bit of shadow. Go right at the bottom of the mouth here and then do flicking motions, which does this feathering look. Now move on to pinks. I'm going to use RV10 and RV02. Start with the RV10. And that will complete my coloring. Now I will die cut these out with the matching dies. I have the Hip Hip Hooray matching die, just going to line it up with a pair of hippos. Use some purple tape to hold it in place. Then I'll run this pair through the die cutting machine. And they've got 1 pair cut out. We'll repeat the process for this other pair of hippos. Now we have both pairs of hippos cut out. We're going to move on to die cutting our blended panel. As you can see, our finished card has 2 pairs of hippos, so we're going to cut out 1 pair at a time. Then we'll run that through. Remove our purple tape. And we'll overlap these hippos just a bit and die cut the second pair. And that will complete our die cutting on our blended panel. We're now going to use this blended panel as a jig for our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panel of self-adhesive foam. See if it's right underneath. Line up the die inside the blended panel. This makes sure that it cuts in exactly the same spot. We just nestle the die right in the front panel. Use a little purple tape to hold it in place. Then we'll run this through our die cutting machine. And now we're going to die cut the other pair of hippos. Line the die up with the negative space. Now we have our front panel die cut as well as a foam layer die cut so we can make our window dimensional. I'm now going to stamp my sentiment. This Hip Hip Hooray stamp set has some really cute sentiments. Hip Hip Hooray, let's celebrate it's your birthday. I'm going to use You Still Got It. Pick it up with my acrylic block. I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black to stamp the sentiment. Good pressure. There you go. With our sentiment stamped, we're now ready to put the blended panel, adhere it to our foam panel. I'm going to use some liquid glue, place it all over, especially those little tiny corners. Line up the cardstock panel with the foam panel. They line up perfectly because the blended panel, so they match perfectly. Now I'm going to grab our A2 side folding card base and turn it, and we're going to now peel the backing off the craft foam and adhere it to the card base. I'm now going to take our die cuts and then just pop them in. Put a little bit of liquid glue down first, pop them right into the negative space, and layer this die cut right on top. I really like how the foam sheet adds some really fun dimension, and the images are recessed, and adds a different look, and it's a new way to stretch your stamps and dies. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happy crafting!